contrary to what everybody may think, you know, I've had a lot of guys, you know, come, you know, and you can read the comments yourself. I've had a lot of guys say to me, man, you're getting too old for this. You know, if the average age of an owner operator is 35 and the average age of a worker is 35 and the average age of an owner is 45 or whatever. You know, I don't really know. I don't really get into averages like that because, well, number one, I'm not average. I'm not even close to average. I know that. I don't care what anybody says. I'm not average. In anything that I've ever been a part of, it's never been average. It's always been exceptional based on what we are spending. When you look at things a certain way, well, you know, people come at me and they say, well, you ain't working till 6 o'clock. You ain't this and you ain't that. But when you look at the money that we make based on what it costs me to get that money, we're exceptional. I mean, any business would love to have the numbers that I have based on the time and based on what it costs me to get that money. And any job that you have, this is my opinion, I got, you know, a disclaimer. In any job that you have, it costs you something to get a check. It costs you something. When you go to that 9 to 5, it's costing you something to get that check. Well, I didn't have to spend no money to get it. Yeah, you did, because you had to get up, you had to drive to the job, you had to drive home. It's costing you something to get that check, no matter what. Out here, since we make, well, a lot more money than somebody that works for the man most of the time. Now, you know, there are jobs out there that pay probably more, you know, working for the man pay a lot more than what I make. But for the average people out here that doing what I'm doing out here, they're going to make a lot more money than somebody that punches the clock. That sounds all great on paper, but they're also going to have to spend a lot more money to make that money. And that's where a lot of people tend to get discombobulated, because they'll say things like, well, shoot, man, me and my 2 guys or me and my 3 guys will make, you know, $1,500 a day. And okay, that sounds good, right? But a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times when those guys say that, they negate to say what it costs them to get that $1,500. Rather it be, you know, work until 6 or 7, rather it be labor hours, rather it be, you know, fuel or whatever. See, when I talk about a successful business, or really my business is really the only business I can really speak on. When I talk about my business, I'm talking about what it costs me to get this money. And that's an integral part of a success or not. Obviously, if it's costing you more to get the money than you're making, then that ain't good. The trick to me in a successful business is to be able to get the checks and it not cost you half the check that you're getting. That's, to me, that's business 101. You know, the more guys I got out here, the more work I got to do, the longer I got to work to make the same exact money, or even less sometimes. And you got to deal with all the stress of when guys don't show up, of having, you know, 35 properties on the list, and you got, you know, 2 guys show up when you got 4. So now only 1 truck's running instead of 2. I mean, to me, and what do I know? I'm just, you know, I'm just Chuck over here. But I'm Chuck that watches the expenses, and I watch the bottom line. And if I can profit 50% of or 60% of what I'm actually grossing out here, then I think that that's great. I think most businesses would love that. I'm sure there's businesses with better numbers. And I'm certainly businesses with bigger numbers, you know, but usually if it's a bigger number on the profit end, it's a bigger number on the headache end. you know, that's just my thinking. You know, I don't have a degree in none of this, man. I'm just using, you know, my noodle common sense. But when people come at me like that, it's like, man, come on, dude. I'm just small time out here, man. I mean, that's all I am. I don't claim to be anything other than small time. You know, I'm a small timer out here, and we do okay. I make a good living, and you know, I don't claim to be anything more than what y'all see on the videos, man. I had one guy come in the comments, and it's y'all can see the comments. He's saying that I need to take his advice. I'm sorry, y'all, but I don't take advice from unknown entities. You know, I don't. I mean, I'll hear it, and if it makes sense to me, then. But whenever you're taking advice from people, you got to look at who is this person giving you this advice? And if you don't know that person, and not saying the advice is sound or not sound, but if you don't know that person, I'm less likely to listen to that person. You know, we got people, you know, coming in our comments, well, the videos are our videos, right? You know, I do the videos for you guys. And we got guys coming in the comments, and they're saying things like, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do that, you know, and that sounds good, but who are you to be telling me? Well, we got 50 employees, and we got this and we got that. That's who I am. Okay, well, you can say or be whatever you want to be in the YouTube comments, but show me something. Identify it. What's the name of your business? If you're big in the Atlanta area, then we ought to be able to find you and look at your website and everything. But you don't put none of that on the in the comments. Well, yeah, I'm too busy for YouTube. That's what they all say. You know, and I'm not saying people don't have, you know, that some of these commenters don't have a bigger business than me. It wouldn't take much to have a bigger business than me. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just me and Zach out here. I mean, damn, dude, you know. But instead of coming in the comments with some, you know, YouTube, you know, name, why don't you put in the comments exactly the name of your business? So I can look at your business like you're looking at my business. And I can critique your business like you're doing my business. And then we can have, you know, dialogue. But until then, we don't have any dialogue. There's no dialogue there because I don't see anything. All I see is somebody typing. Whether you got a business or not, I have no idea. And it's irrelevant really at this point because I ain't seen nothing. You just need to take my advice and don't ask no questions. Again, I'm not average. I don't do that. You might get some of these young, impressionable guys to do that, but I don't do that. I'm too old for all that crap, man. And you know, telling me that I need to get an exit plan. How do you know I don't have an exit plan? Like guys in their 50s can't make money at this. I mean, he pretty much done wrote off a whole demographic. You know, like if you're 50, you're at the end. You need to do something else. But I've been doing this since I was 35. I've been banking my money every day, every week, every month, and every year that I've been in business. Bank, 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 bank. I mean, that's what I do. That's why I'm in business. If I hadn't been banking, I mean, some of the guys coming out like I'm just a party hardy kind of guy, and all the money that I make, I spend it on things that don't make me money. There ain't nothing that I spend my money on out here in the business that don't make me money. And I save money every single year, every single month. I'm saving money for what you call the exit plan. And then, you know, one guy was saying you can rent your house out. That's good. But see, in my area, that's not such a good thing to do. I mean, it's a great thing to do. It sounds great on paper, but it ain't a good thing to do from a logistics standpoint, because I have to live somewhere too. And even though my house price has doubled since I bought it, for me to get into another house, I'm gonna be paying double. So if I sell my house at double, I'm giving the money right back. The only way that it would make sense for me to sell my house is if I moved to, you know, Bumfuck, Alabama or somewhere where the property values, where it don't cost nothing, and build my own house. I don't want to do that, but the business is based right here where I live. So that doesn't make sense to me.